Hey, everybody. So I tend to stay away from the news unless it's like something significant, and I think this is significant to me. So OpenAI calls DeepSeek state-controlled, calls for bans on PRC produced models. And this has been making the headlines. I guess it started making the headlines 2 days ago, but I just saw it today, and I've seen it in articles blowing up today. Right? This to me is the most hilarious thing that I could possibly think of. And then this is exactly how you know 100% that a company is on their death knell, right? That they are toasted, that they are done, that they have no moat, that we're not all good. like, like I don't know how else to frame it overall, right? Like they are basically saying we cannot compete and we need you to ban our competition in order for us to compete. I mean, that's flat out what they are saying, right? And then that's literally what the whole entire article is. And then so their argument is that DeepSeek as a company is a state subsidized and a state controlled company, which I would assume to be true, right? But I assume that to be true of any Chinese company flat out. There's if you understand the dynamics of how Chinese companies work, the president of China he's a golden shareholder of every single company within China, right? Which means that every single company that exists within China, they give a golden share to the president, and the president can enact and do whatever is necessary or needed with that golden share. The president is actually the main shareholder of every single company within China. So this argument against DeepSeek is nothing new in and of itself, right? And then if we look at outside of AI, for example, so this is within quantum computing, right? So we have AI and quantum computing, and to a lot of people, these two things go hand in hand. And then so if we look at these things together, what we see is that China is not just making gains on the AI side; they're also making gains on the quantum computing side, right? And so on the quantum computing side, this article from 2 days ago as well showcases that China has made another significant gain in this time in regards towards quantum computing and quantum supremacy, where they have put out recently a model that they claim is beating Google's Willow, and Google Willow is the top US model when it comes to quantum computing. And then so very straightforward, what you see within this and what is apparent to me within this is that China is very willing and very specifically benchmarking itself on these two things against US competition and US companies. They're benchmarking themselves both within quantum computing against Google in this particular instance, and then in AI against OpenAI in this instance. And OpenAI's defense is to call for bans. So if that's the immediate response from OpenAI within this, we're in trouble on this side, right? You don't see within this side Google calling for bans to instantly step it up, right? Google is a smarter company than that, and then so they're realizing to go harder, right? And within the quantum realm, you see that's what's going on, right? You understand that there's a competition within that, and companies are realizing that within a competition within that, they should actually be investing in the technology, whereas OpenAI's weird stance seems to be to call for a ban, right? So then why would they be calling for a ban? Flat out, it's exactly what people have been saying for 2 years now, the 2-3 years, the smartest people within this, the people that a lot of people don't want to listen to within this, which is that there are structural and physics-based limitations to AI in its current form, and no one wants to it's just a hard argument for people to swallow. It's a hard argument for people to understand, which is why it's a hard argument for people to swallow. But once you understand mathematics and the physics behind it, there are very clear limitations and very clear mathematical limitations to current architecture. And then also to what you notice within that and what is apparent within that is that transformers are nothing but a brute force architecture, right? It's a brute force architecture that was scaled up and happens to work in specific instances, but the way that it works is not the way that people want it to work. It's the bottom line overall, right? I can't frame that enough. It's hilarious to anyone that understands these things, and there's a huge divide in this instance, right? You have a very clear camp that understands the like physics and mathematics behind these things, and then that camp all says the same thing. And then you have like Sam Altman, Elon Musk, the people that don't actually understand this technology, but for some reason, the media keeps wanting to listen to, and people keep wanting to listen to over scientific minds within this. But they're telling you hoopla, right, and hype, but their actions are calling for a ban on DeepSeek, because I mean, why else would a company be calling for a outright ban on their competition? Like if OpenAI had an actual moat in this scenario, if they had an actual defense, like, I mean, they move fast and break stuff, right? That's, I mean, this guy's whole entire agenda, right? And so if this guy actually had like a bullet that he could actually fire that wasn't just, hey, competition, don't you think that he'd be doing that? I mean, I can't stress this enough overall, right? Like, and it's, I mean, to me, it's I've stressed it before, it's a very clear cultural difference within this, right? Within the United States, what you see is people went all in on the capitalist aspect of this, and trying to make money, right? And then so people went all in, and then when you go all in on something and then you invest in something, you inherently bias yourself towards that investment, right? You're sinking money into it, and then so that's why I have invested $0 into Transformers flat out, right? I don't have I have no money invested in Transformers because I don't want to bias myself into it, and I put my money where my mouth is. I don't think it's a worthy investment, and it's paying off, right? Like 2 years ago, people were laughing at me. Who's laughing now, right? And then as we can see, like it's very clear how it works out, right? It's not, like, oh, this is, using some sort of crystal ball like logic. It's understanding the actual physics and mathematics behind it, and then saying, this guy's actually an idiot. I don't know what else to tell you. That's kind of the bottom line, right? Like, and that's where we're at. Like, people keep wanting to just put blind faith into like these marketing schemes, and then it's like you have people that are actually performing science, and then saying, hey, that's not what it is. You have, I mean, like, and like, that's not what is going on and occurring on the Chinese side, right? And I mean, just pointing that out very simplistically, how is this country that's like sanctioned out the wazoo, who it doesn't have the same resources, who has like a tenth of the money, who has like a tenth of the GPUs, how are they competing and how are they beating like the Goliath in this instance? And the Goliath is asking for David to be banned, like, because of the fact that it comes down to pure science and physics, right? And that's a part of the equation that just so many people want to ignore, right? They want to, like, well, I'll just buy my way out of it. Like, manifest destiny. Manifest destiny doesn't work when it comes to physics. So I don't know what, like, you can't manifest destiny yourself past that equation. I don't know what to tell you. Like, the world doesn't work that way. And then as we're seeing, the world is now is the time of reckoning within this, right? And then it's people either trying to hype things up for you and then saying that this is the bunch of marketing hype, or people saying, hey, this is the physics and the math behind it. This is actually the way that it is, right? And that's why I very specifically on this channel, always everything that I'm saying, like with regards towards my models, my experiments, etc. Here's my code, prove it out. Disprove me via the code, right? I could do not like the last thing that I ever want to do is to ever hype anything up with an AI. Like, to me, that is hyping anything up with an AI is what has led us to this position. And I've been like on that train from the beginning. That's why I've been like anti-agents overall. You don't see a lot of strong agent content on my channel. And then when I do talk about agents, I'm very upfront within like trying to say that there's limitations and that I don't think that we will be able to overcome those current limitations in the ways that anyone thinks that we will, right? I try to be very upfront and grounded within my opinions on these things, rather than just saying, hey, this is, like about like agents and vibe coding are the way. Like, I don't like, I'm not a fan of any of that, right? Like talk. So I guess ending with that, right? And on that instance, since I'm on this particular subject with vibe coding and all of that, I think that there's some utility to that. Like, the best analogy overall that I saw within that, like, I think, again, that's more hype from these AI companies, right? That, like, AI is going to completely replace coders. And I think that is like that type of hype, and all of this hype that you're seeing is like antithetical to AI, like the United States winning an AI war, if you want it to be an AI war, and then it's antithetical to people overall, and it's sending the wrong message overall, just to put more money into these guys' pockets. Like that's the only bottom line that I can think of as to why they take these stances. But within that, like at most, what would happen is so like IKEA exists, right? Like IKEA is a good framework. You can go to IKEA, and IKEA, what IKEA allows for is for anyone to be able to like build your own furniture. Like you can go buy, and you don't have to understand how to build furniture overall, but it's that level of freedom, right? Like you don't have to be an expert. You can just go, and it's easy, and it's not going to be industrial grade. It's not going to be like the maximum architecture. You wouldn't want to. It's not something that you're going to be like proud of and showcasing in a museum, but it will do the job, right? And it will get you from A to B, and that's what I see the future of like coding in this instance is with AI models, right? It will get you from A to B, and recognizing that, and recognizing that it's a co-pilot within that, not a knowledge replacement, right? To me, it's there's a big difference between like actually understanding a subject and then having and working with AI on that subject, and then just saying having AI just hey code up like code up this code that I don't know how to read or how to verify, because it's probabilistic, right? It's going to make a mistake. It's going to output something that is wrong, and then if you can't catch that, then you're gonna publish or you're gonna put out something that's wrong, and you're gonna just show it to someone that's wrong. And if you don't understand enough to catch that, you're gonna look like a fool, and then that's just the bottom line, right? And I see like so much of that, like that's the most hilarious thing that I see within this, right? I see like so many people are listening to these words that like, oh yeah, it's gonna just replace all coders, right? And then they think that, and then they try to pass off code, and it's like, bruh, like the LM model that you're using made a mistake. I understand that you can't see that because you don't understand the output that the LM model is making, but very clearly, anyone that can actually understand and digest this code can see the mistake there, right? And it's not a matter of like being able to reproduce it, mirror it 100%. It's being able to digest it and understand it. Oh, there's the mistake. Taking actual levels of like being able to understand it on some level, right? Not just 100% trusting the AI. Oh, it executes. There it is, right? I mean, I can hard code anything to execute in, and AI will too, right? And AI will cheat in some instances if it's proven, right? And it's probabilistic. There's lots of different avenues and ways to get fooled by an output if you don't have a base knowledge within that. And then so all of these things overall, like I mean, to me, it's just a big reckoning of knowledge. Like I couldn't be happier overall with these outcomes. So I'm glad that we are here where we are with AI. This is exactly what I've been saying would happen for like 2-3 years, right? This has been kind of my train. I feel very vindicated at this point. And then so if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe. Thank you very much.